ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another one of our little talks about entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship theories and their implications in everyday life as an entrepreneur. Today we will talk about perhaps one of the more interesting theories in entrepreneurship, namely Saras Sarasvathy's theory of effectuation from 2001. This theory came as a counter-reaction to the long prevailing notion that companies operated according to an ends-driven logic. It means causal logic. This is something that for us who studied business, perhaps we recognize this logic from, for example, strategic management or from marketing management and its guru, Philip Kotler. It is the notion that companies plan, execute, and follow up, and they allocate resources in order to reach a preset goal. Saras Sarasvathy said that, yeah, maybe this applied to some larger corporations that are not working under constraints in terms of resources. They are not working under a great deal of uncertainty. But for small entrepreneurial firms, this is just not the reality. Instead, she focused on another dimension, that companies, instead of using this ends-driven logic, they focus on a means-driven logic. It means, what can I do with the resources I have at my disposal? She laid out her foundations, and it comprised of 4 different dimensions. First, we have the bird in the hand principle. It means that, first of all, we should focus on, who am I? Who do I know? Do I have a network? Do I know people in the industry? For example, if I'm going to open a bus company, do I know people who can sell my tickets? Do I have people who can open the necessary doors for me? So first we have, who am I? Secondly, we have who I know. And in the end, we have what I know. For me as an economist, for example, it would be quite natural to open a consultancy company. I have the skills to do bookkeeping myself also. I have the skills to do marketing. And this is part of who I am. So bird in hand means, who am I? Who do I know? And perhaps most importantly, what do I know? The second dimension is affordable loss. Instead of focusing on future profits, Sarasvathy actually focused on the downward risk. What can I stand to lose? If I start on this venture, can it be so that I can afford to lose my savings? But perhaps I have a wife and child. Maybe, just maybe, I do not want to lose my home because it's too important for me. So therefore you can see that there is a line that entrepreneurs do not cross. That, of course, is different for each one of us because we have different inclination towards risk. Some people are gamblers. They can, without any problems at all, jeopardize their home and family, so they might mortgage their house. But for the most part, we tend to, maybe I can lose my savings, but my house, maybe not. The third dimension is what she called crazy quilt. It has to do with forming strategic partnership. Small companies, they often lack the resources to do everything themselves, so instead they focus on something called co-creation. Maybe I cannot complete the whole task myself, but I can find partners who I can team up with and we can do it together. The fourth principle is what she called the lemonade principle. It suggests that entrepreneurs, using effectual logic, they treat surprises in their environment as something good. Surprises are not necessarily bad. It is actually something that can be welcome. We can see this in the IT industry right now. A lot of companies, they actually profited from our current pandemic. If you look at all the teaching platforms, for example, I teach at the university. Before we had classroom teaching. Right now we're using Big Blue Button, we're using Microsoft Teams, and there's a myriad of other platforms coming up as well. Some of them also from smaller entrepreneurial companies. The last principle is what she calls pilot in the plane. Pilot in the plane means that entrepreneurs view themselves as masters of their own destiny. Instead of letting the environment control you, you can control the environment. So you are the master of your own house. So this was a short lecture about effectuation. I hope that by now you will understand at least the basic principles. So thank you for listening, and I hope to see you again.